Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So as y'all may be able to hear, we have a thunderstorm rolling in, but we still got to get dinner on the table. So I'm going to show y'all how we're going to make some fried cabbage, and we're going to toss in some dandelion greens just to add a little bit extra nutritional value and see how it changes the flavor. This is the first time I've ever used dandelion greens, and I figured why not use it in a tried and true recipe. Plus, with it being St. Patrick's Day, we're gonna have cabbage. We've just got to. It's just something that we do every year. So I figured this would be a good way to make it a little bit healthier, even though it's fried cabbage. And we'd take y'all along for the ride. Move y'all in a little bit closer and show y'all how we do it. And hopefully the thunderstorm won't be too loud and we'll keep power. As you can see, I chopped up about a pound of bacon and I have it down in the bottom of my pan. I find that if I chop it before I throw it in the pan, that it's much easier and I can just kind of scoot it around instead of cooking big strips of bacon and then crumbling it up later. But we just want to cook the bacon and render off some of the fat because we're going to use this bacon fat to fry our cabbage in. So we're just going to cook the bacon until it's all done, and then we'll come back and move on to the cabbage and the fun part. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to start scooping the bacon out, and we're just going to put it over to the side. We're going to leave all of that bacon grease down in the bottom of this, and we're going to toss in a small onion that I just roughly sliced up, and just a couple teaspoons of minced garlic. It's okay if you don't get all of the bacon pieces out, but you want to get most of them because we're going to cook up the onions and you don't want it burned. Okay, so we're going to add in, and I know this is going to look like a lot, but it's going to wilt down, but a medium head of cabbage that I've just, again, roughly chopped up. So this pan is going to get really full, y'all. I'll show you. But I've got a medium cabbage that I chopped up and 2 bunches of dandelion greens. But we're going to toss this around in here and let it fry for just a minute. And then we're going to add a little bit of water and put the lid on just to steam it and let it finish cooking that way. But I'm going to break up some of these pieces and really get everything kind of mixed down in there. And you'll see that just like spinach, it'll wilt down pretty fast. At this point, we're going to season it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of water in here and close the lid to let it steam. But I just want to add a little bit of paprika, and this is mostly just for color. I'm going to add a little bit of smokiness to it also. And then I'm going to add some seasoned salt. We already have the garlic and onion in there, so I'm not going to add any extra of that right now. However, after it steams, we may add a little bit more garlic powder or even onion powder. There we go. And mix it around. Now we're just going to toss in enough water really just to kind of coat the bottom of the pan, a little bit more. maybe a third to a half of a cup. We're going to cover it and let it steam for about 5 to 7 more minutes, and then we'll check on it, see how we're doing, and see if we need to cook it a little bit longer. Okay, y'all. So we've been steaming for about 6 minutes. We're going to take the lid off, stir it up, and see how everything tastes. If we need to add a little bit more seasoning or what. So we're going to pull out a piece to taste test. So we're nice and tender, but we do need some more salt. But before we add the salt, I'm going to add the bacon and everything back. But we are going to go ahead and add our pepper in, because we're adding bacon to it, and that's going to make this a little more salt, or a lot more salty. We don't want to over salt it just yet. So we're going to toss our bacon back in. And then while the cabbage was cooking, I browned up a pound of our homemade smoked sausage. Now this is optional. You don't have to toss in the sausage, but as an extra meat source, I just went ahead and browned up, and it's just a pound of smoked sausage. This is our homemade sausage, but you can really use like Hillshire Farm, anything. I'm going to toss all of that in so I can really see how much salt we're going to need to add. Now if you have some carrots or something like that, that would be really good in this also. I hope y'all can hear the storm rolling behind. I know some people don't like it, but I love the sound of a storm. Now I don't like driving in it, but for some reason, I think the sound of a storm is relaxing. Okay, now that we've got all the meat in there, I'm just tossing everything around today. And the pepper, we're going to taste test again and see what other seasonings we need to add. We'll probably have to add either a little bit of sugar or lemon juice also, because these dandelion greens and the cabbage are quite bitter. Actually, no. I'm going to add just a little bit of lemon juice, but we don't need any salt. I'm just going to do that to kind of break some of that bitter taste from the dandelion, but it really, that bite wasn't bad at all. I think the fat from the sausage and the bacon really balanced it out. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Somehow it got turned back up to high. So, one last taste test, but I think we're going to be good. Yeah, perfect. So let's plate it up and show y'all what it looks like. But there we have it. Fried cabbage. Again, I added in dandelion greens, and it seems I'm throwing everything out of the pan. But I added dandelion greens and smoked sausage, which isn't in our typical. So really just shows you, play with your food, contrary to what your mother might have told you, and just try different things out. See what works for you. But I'm going to show you how we plate it up and get ready to eat dinner. Alright y'all, so dinner's all done, and we've got cabbage, our dandelion greens, our bacon sausage. Now we do have some potatoes that some roasted potatoes we're going to be having with this, but fried cabbage, y'all saw the lights. Fried cabbage, and simple, very inexpensive. And we just added the dark leafy dandelion greens just for some added nutrients and to try it out. But that's definitely something you can skip if you don't have it or you don't like dandelion greens. But hopefully you give it a try and tell us what you think. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.